Did you know? Popping to the loo, going to the toilet, making use of the facilities is one of those things which unites all of humanity across the world and throughout time. We all do it. Now, a favourite fact of children is that Romans used sponges on sticks to wipe their bottoms. We, of course, use loo roll, something which the Romans would find very strange, possibly unhygienic, and certainly wasteful. Indeed, you can even get novelty loo roll. For example, this one has Sudoku puzzles on to do while you're busy. Others prefer to make a political statement with their loo roll. But where does loo roll come from? The first recorded use of toilet paper comes from China in the 6th century AD, during the time of the northern and southern dynasties. The scholar Yan Zitui reflected on which paper was suitable to use. He wrote, "Paper on which there are quotations or commentaries from the 5 classics or the names of sages, I dare not use for toilet purposes." By the time of the Tang dynasty, an Arab traveller observed, "The Chinese do not wash themselves with water when they have done their necessities, but they only wipe themselves with paper." This was around AD 851. And we know that by the 14th century, parts of China were making many millions of parcels of toilet paper every year. Over the years, the custom spread, and by the late 19th century in New York, patents were being registered for toilet rolls and toilet roll holders. The beginning of the 20th century brought with it the First World War. This was combat on an unprecedented scale. Infamously, arguably, only outdone by the scale of suffering wrought on soldiers in places like the Western Front. At times, conditions were truly horrendous. At these times, many turned to their faith for comfort and solace. Indeed, wartime missionaries were encouraged by just how popular they had become with the troops. While in part undoubtedly due to their message, archaeology reveals another possible reason for their popularity on the front. Amongst the remarkable preserved artefacts, details of daily life, archaeologists occasionally recover Bibles and Gospels with holes drilled in one corner. Why would this be? Were some men losing their faith, destroying Bibles on the Western Front? No, they were just desperate for toilet paper. It is thought the hole is for a rope to hang the paper for ease of access and use. No wonder the missionaries were popular. Now, they weren't being disrespectful to the Bible, they were just so desperate. And indeed, many of these young men will have grown up using, for example, old newspapers in the toilet at the bottom of the garden. Indeed, my own granddad used to do that. On a light-hearted note, this does beg a tantalising question. If you absolutely had to, which book would you use? There's a plethora of books out there, and some of them are truly terrible, just begging to be used as emergency toilet paper. What would be your book of choice?